I need a job. This video ends when I get a job. So I, for one, am hoping that this is like the shortest video that the channel has ever seen to date. Like, look at the timestamps. Is it 3 minutes? Because I would love that. If you're not caught up in the vlogs, just for a little bit of context, I have a job that I am trying to get, have been trying to get for the past, like, since February, and have done a job fair and 3 interviews with them. And last Friday was told that I would be reached out to by the recruiter sometime early next week, which is now this week. And so that, you know, could mean anything. That could mean today, that could mean Tuesday. And I'm hoping that it's a job offer that I'm getting reached out to with. But until then, welcome to another unemployment week. There's a couple things going on. I'm almost done with my book. It reads really fast because it's like the mass market paperback, which I love mass market paperbacks, how they're small. It's like a little brick, but it means that I read like 50 pages in 5 minutes because the pages are so small. What else is new? What else is new? I'm still doing my meal plan, which I talked a little bit about at the end of last vlog. We'll talk about it more this vlog and how it's been going. But I just wanted to say hello. I wanted to say good morning, give a little bit of context to the day. My phone will be living on ringer today, so just waiting for the time when I do get a call. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna drink my coffee, eat my breakfast, read my book, and we'll catch up again whenever I'm feeling more awake and alive.
Saw you paint a picture of a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on.
Just finished this book and it was wild. It took me for such a ride. It's the 8th one, I think, in the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter, which it's been a second since I've mentioned them, but like I've read starting in the first ones back in like November, and now I've made my way up to 8, and I feel like the rest of them are worth reading like to get to this one. This is the first one I've read, so I was like, oh, that was a really good book. Like other ones have had various problems in them, but have still been kind of entertaining, and this one, like I flew through. It's over 600 pages and I flew through it. Took me for such a ride. Also, they all take place in Atlanta, which is just so, it's not like fun because it's a thriller, so it's not like good things are happening in Atlanta, but it's so interesting to read like streets that I drive down, you know, and locations that I know very well. A couple things going on now. I have an egg cooking on the stove right now. With my meal plan that I mentioned, it really was whenever I realized I would be unemployed for another week, I was like, I need some sort of tasks to help like take up my time, and I feel like I've never had the time to like actually research and look into what like macros I need and things like that, and then plan meals accordingly. So I was like, I might as well take good use of this time. And at the end of last week, I made this like meal plan, which my ultimate goal is high protein. Like I'm really trying to really load the protein. I'm trying to get, it's like 120 to 135 grams of protein a day, which has actually been so much harder than I thought it would be. Whenever I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm going on a meal plan, somehow in my head, which I guess this is just like the altered growing up in diet culture type things, but I thought in my head like I would be hungry, like I would feel like I was restricting myself, and really getting all of the like good foods that I need in a day has been hard because I've been getting so full. And calorie wise, it's less than what I would have been eating. I think I never tracked, but like based on just kind of like adding things up in my head, I'm eating less calories per day than I used to have been. But I think because of the high protein, I'm getting so full, which is good because then I'm energized, and I really have noticed a difference in that, and I'm not feeling like bloated and yucky. And that really was the goal whenever I started planning food, which it's been like 3 days. It's been 3 days, but that was the goal whenever I wanted to plan food, was like I want to actually fill my body up with what it needs, instead of just like, oh, I'm gonna have a not nutritionally dense meal that doesn't actually satisfy me and isn't even actually that good, and then I just like know that I could have had a better option instead. Like this has been fun. Moved to the kitchen because I have an egg on the stove that I need to monitor. But as far as things going on today, I feel like I'm kind of a waiting period. One, because I'm waiting for a call, which I will be, you know, until I get that call, as we already talked about. But then two, the work that I was doing last week with the like interviewing social workers, filming, like that type of thing, I'm not editing any more of them right now because I sent in the first 2 that I finished, and so I'm waiting to see if there's like notes with editing or if they need something different before I put time and effort into editing more of them. So I'm kind of just waiting on that, and like I said, waiting on my job offer. So I just kind of feel like I'm not needing to do anything right now, which is, you know, a good feeling that I'm trying to revel in, because how often do you have time like this? So what I think I'm going to do is probably honestly find a new book to start reading. And also, EF Ultimate Break dropped 20 new trips today, which I am in no financial place or like ability to plan ahead to the future place to book any new trips, but I definitely want to sit down and like look at the itineraries. And remember, if you are in a place to book a trip, you can always use my link in the description for $100 off. I've now taken 2 trips with them, and I do plan to in the future. future. I just don't know when that will be. But they have like a South Africa one that they just released. They have a Brazil and Argentina one they just released. They have a cruise, the Galapagos one they just released. A Switzerland one that I'm excited for. A joint Japan and South Korea one, because before they just have 2 separate trips for those. So I'm really excited to look at, okay, I think my egg's done. But I'm really excited to look at those itineraries just to like get myself hyped up for a future trip, I guess, whenever I'll be able to take that next.
Haven't changed, you stayed the same. But if you did, I'd still love you anyway.
Oh, also the other thing that is going on, I feel like there's just like so many small little updates, is that our lease is up at the end of June and Zach and I have officially applied to an apartment and are waiting for approval. So obviously fingers are crossed, like we're hoping that approval will come for that apartment because I think it would be a really good one if we are able to get it, but like just don't know about that yet either. But I kind of want to spend some time on Pinterest too to get like inspiration. I feel like I've talked about this a couple times, but maybe not recent enough for like a few subscribers that are here. But this apartment that we're currently in, we put like basically 0 effort, maybe like 2% effort into decorating, because when we moved in, I had just graduated college. Zach was still had 1 year left of college. I was entering grad school, and then only in the past year have both of us been working. And so it's kind of just like, this is a temporary home, and I didn't want to invest a lot of money and time and effort that I felt like I didn't really have into this one. So it's kind of just been like a limbo. Like a lot of things are blank and bare. We got this couch off Facebook Marketplace, and like it's not the favorite, but it's, you know, served us well for the past 2 years. And so I am hoping to put a lot more effort into the next apartment that comes and making it be very like homey and nice and fun and good and a cozy place to be. And so I kind of want to start like planning so that when June comes, I'll feel like ready to go. Like I'll know what's up. I have decided for my next books, both of them are ones that are kind of intimidating. So I think I'm just going to kind of switch between them and do like maybe like 30 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time. But this book I've had for forever and just haven't read yet, because honestly, usually when I consume nonfiction, I'll do it in audiobook because it kind of feels like a podcast or something like that. I don't usually read it because sometimes it's harder for me to focus, but this one I wanted to be able to read. But it's called No More Police, A Case for Abolition, and so I think it'll be really interesting to read and learn about and, you know, see all the sources and see what they talk about. And so I'm really excited for it, but I just know that it's going to take brain effort to get through. And then the second one is a book that my grandpa gave me whenever I was there 2 weekends ago, like last weekend, the one before this past weekend. But he really likes Don Quixote, and so he gave me one of his copies of Don Quixote. He wrote a little message in the title page, and he was saying that I need to read it soon, like I need to get started on it. So I think I'm gonna have to take it like kind of time by time, like do little chunks at a time of it too. So I have both of those that I'll be working my way through. I almost feel like I need a different fiction book to work into the mix too. But yeah, I'm still just chilling.
I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same, I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same.
So lunch today, part of it is a cucumber boat with hummus. It's like spicy hummus. There's gonna be cayenne and I think paprika on it too. And the other part is a creamy green chia smoothie. And I think right now I'm only hungry enough to prepare the cucumber, but we'll do the smoothie later, probably like a little bit before I work out. Yeah, paprika and cayenne. But I was looking just now on the website for the apartment that I mentioned that we applied for, and the unit that we specifically applied for is no longer listed on the website. So part of me is really hoping that means that we have it, and that's why now it's not listed for other people to apply for. And then part of me is also worried that other people applied for it and like they got it and that's why it's gone. So I'm really hoping to get, I feel like I just keep checking my email so much today because I'm either hoping to get contacted by the recruiter that I'm waiting to hear from, or I'm hoping to get contacted now by the apartments. I feel like there's something else I'm waiting on too. Oh, the like editing that I did last week, I'm waiting for notes for that. So it's just so much waiting. Oops, that chunk just went on the floor. That's my bad. Which I mean, as I keep mentioning, it is so nice to have time to rejuvenate and to rest and to relax. And I am definitely not wanting to wish away this little unemployment period. I think what I wish is I just knew its end date. Like I knew when it was done so that I would be able to be like, okay, I have, you know, like 10 days left or whatever it might be, like 7 days left. I'm making a mess over here. Yeah, and not having that end date and goal is kind of what I'm struggling with.
Had this conversation more than 10 times. After 9, I still wish you were mine. Haven't ate in 7 days, 'cause I've been
business hours for the day are done and I never heard anything, meaning that this will be at least longer than one day vlog. I told you how I was doing. Yeah, this video ends when I get a job. It's been a while since you've been. You want to give me updates? What your life's been like? Being the sole breadwinner for our family.
You just made 6, eh?
That's true. I've been working.
Working hard.
I've been working. We're gonna play Monopoly tonight.
We could.
Two big newses. Number one, I found my blue light glasses. It's been like a year and a half since I've known where these are. They were under my bed in like this box, in the bottom of a box. Found them yesterday. News number two, I'm going back to the coffee shop that I used to go to weekly. I haven't been since my life like changed so much. Haven't been since my life like changed so since my life changed so much, and they sent like 15% off We Miss You coupon. So twist my arm. I've gotten this microphone, which I thought would be so fun for videos, like talking like this, and I got the wrong jack size. Like, it doesn't go into my camera, which is funny because whenever I was shopping for them, I was looking up, like figured out exactly how many millimeters, whatever my mic jack on my camera was, and I was like looking at so many of the different options and was searching that same size, and then somehow I guess the one I got was incorrect, and it's fully like for a speaker, and so I'm gonna have to make a little Amazon return on that. It's been a while since I've done an Amazon return, and I guess it gives me something to do. It's like 9:30 now, so I didn't stay for super long at the coffee shop. I guess like 2.5 hours, that's a good amount of time. But Zach came with me, and so we sat and hung out for a little bit, but then he had to get to work. So then I was just watching New Girl on Hulu now, because I had started watching New Girl probably like the beginning of March, like rewatching it. I've already seen it all the way through, but it's a nice like comfort show, and I hadn't watched it through in a while, and I wanted to make it back through the series and up until season 7. And then they took it off Netflix. Like as soon as I decided to rewatch it, I think I made it to like season 6, so it was like 6 weeks after or something like that. They took it off Netflix, but I saw today that it showed up on Hulu, and so I was watching it on Hulu today, picking up where I left off, and was like scrolling through Goodreads, finding books that I wanted to read. I was on Pinterest. I'm making like my Pinterest re-entrance, getting re-going into Pinterest. I think sometimes I just feel overwhelmed by Pinterest because it's like I can see things that I like, but it's really hard for me to recreate it, I guess. Like as far as, oh, if I see outfit inspiration, or if I see decoration inspiration, or like furniture that looks good, it's hard for me to recreate a look that I see. But I'm just gonna try, I'm gonna dabble. It is fun to curate like a good feed and good boards on Pinterest, so that was kind of fun. It was just pretty relaxing. Do you think today is gonna be the last day of this vlog? And by that I mean, do you think I'm gonna get my job today? I looked on the like application portal thing, and I have officially moved from interview to in consideration, so that's good. Part of me feels like I'm just gonna keep checking it just in case they like change my status on the portal before they call me. I'll check it right now. Still says in consideration. That being said, not too many plans today. I have a video for my personal channel that I'm going to start to finish. It would have been the vlog before this one. I guess if I wanted to, I could even start this vlog. It is funny, just like not knowing how long it's gonna be. I did start to read 3 different books. So 2 of them were the ones I mentioned. I started to read No More Police, which is interesting, but just like I kind of suspected, it's hard for me to physically read nonfiction. I used to like only read nonfiction physically, and I don't know, it's just, it's so different than fiction. And so reading nonfiction is an adjustment. And then I also started Don Quixote, which is like 1,000 pages. So this is the beginning of something. I read for, I think, 15 minutes and made it like 10 pages. So I was like, oh great, not only is it 1,000 pages, but I'm not making my way through quickly. And then I updated my progress in Goodreads, and it was like 1%. 1%. And then I also started Highly Suspicious and Fairly Cute, which is like a little YA rom-com. So lots of very different books going on. I don't know how I'm gonna spend my time today. I need a job. Like I'm loving it, this is like summer vacation, but I need a job. I had to take a few moments to take a few deep breaths before filming this clip. I tried to film it a couple minutes ago and I was talking 10,000 miles a minute and like my cheeks were all pink and I was out of breath. But I was just getting myself sat down to start playing Mario Kart. Sorry, the car. Whenever I look down at my phone because it started buzzing and I see a little number pop across the screen, and in my head I'm like, oh my gosh, it's time. So I take a couple deep breaths, I go sit down at the table, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be nice, cool, calm, collected, composed for this call. I answer the phone and it's the recruiter that I've been waiting for the call from. And she asked and she was like, is this Anna? And I was like, yes, this is Anna. This is she. And she asked how my interview experience had been. So I was like, it's been good. Like I kind of talked to her. I was like, oh, it's been cool to meet so many different people and like really get a feel of the culture and the workplace, etc. And the whole time thinking like, uh-oh, is this like how has the interview experience been? Because like you're done with it. But then she was like, I'm so thrilled to like let you know that they want to give you the job. So we're still in the negotiation phase right now, trying to find a like pay benefits package that works so that I can accept the job. So it hasn't been like officially accepted yet, but the title of this vlog was that this vlog ends when I get a job. And so I am so thrilled to let you know that I've been offered a position as a medical social worker working with children. What I've been interviewing for has been like a specialized unit, and we'll definitely talk like more about it in coming videos, especially once I actually accept the offer, assuming I accept the offer. I was like breathing so heavy. Like I was so emotionally like up here during that call just because I was very excited, and I also really wanted to like handle it well. And even just with negotiation and the fact that like I have a pre-planned vacation coming up, which in my head I'd really hyped up to be a big deal, and they were like, we're flexible with that. Like it likely won't be able to be paid time off because I would have only been working for maximum 4 weeks, like if I were to start like now before that vacation. But they were like, yeah, no big deal, we're flexible with that. And she said that she was going to like contact the compensation team, and like when they get back to her, she'll get back to me to figure out what we can make the offer be to where I can accept it. So good news, and I am feeling very good right now. I'm still gonna play some Mario Kart, figure out what to do with myself for the rest of the day, because while it's like really good news, now it is like a waiting period too, of like waiting of, okay, whenever they can come back with a counter offer, and like just figuring all of that out. And I still have no idea like start date or anything. So definitely good news. Still definitely a lot coming. And since this vlog ends when I get a job, I am so happy to let you know that this vlog has ended. And I'll see you in the next one.